Welcome everyone to another episode of Time for BL. This is the podcast where we review movies, TV shows, comics, and novels, all in the boys love genre. Now, on this episode, I'm actually going to be doing the second part of my 4 Moon series, so the movie Quattro Lunas. It's written and directed by Sergio Tovar Velarde, and it is a 2014 movie that follows 4 storylines, all in different phases of the moon. We have full moon, new moon, waning moon, and waxing moon. Now, I've already done a review on new moon. It is a storyline that follows 11-year-old Mauricio and him basically discovering himself and what he likes. Definitely check that out. And on this episode, I'll be talking about full moon. Now, this storyline gets to me, but gets to me in a semi-anger and not angry at the right person, I feel like. So the story of Full Moon follows a couple, Andres and Hugo. Hugo and Andres have been in a 10-year relationship, and you already know there's problems from the beginning when you see them appear on screen. They are presented in front of their friends as this perfect couple. They're the ideal couple. They've been together for so long. They have this beautiful house and they're just so amazing and perfect together. But then their friends are gone. When their friends aren't around, you see what's really going on. Their relationship definitely has some strains on it. One of the scenes, in the very first scene actually, is Andres and Hugo talking about a movie they just went to, and Andres tells Hugo, how can you say you like the movie? You were outside for 30 minutes on your phone. Right there, you know, wow, there's some serious problems. So, what is this story about? Well, Hugo was supposed to go to the movies with Andres and their friends, did not show up, finally got home. And when Andres asked, where have you been? Hugo tells the truth. He was cheating with a hot younger guy named Sebastian. We hate Sebastian. I hate Sebastian for many reasons. No, I hate him for one. Anyway, now at this point, Hugo, of course, is presented as the bad guy, which he is. He is. But what really got to me was Andres. Now, we've already seen situations where Hugo has told Andres he's too feminine. I like masculine men. You act too feminine. Look at the fridge with all your magnets on it. It looks tacky. Look how beautiful our house is. You're bringing down the house with that. And now we have Hugo saying, I'm cheating on you. You think this would be like oh my God, he's cheating on me too? No! Andres begs him to, let's work this out. And it's kind of obvious that Andres is honestly just afraid to be alone. And it made me boil. But hey, if we didn't have this storyline, I guess it's true to life. I guess there's people who are like this. I'm not. Wait, you did what? I'm gonna leave because I don't want to go to jail. Oh my God. I don't want to go to jail. But yes, Andres begs Hugo to let them try and work this out, give him time. And during this time, he's not allowed to see Sebastian. It's just the two of them. Well, okay, so where do we start? So he's supposed to stay for 2 weeks. Andres has planned out these 2 weeks to just be romantic, and they're just going to focus on everything Hugo wants. This is Hugo's 2 weeks. Only Hugo will be the focus of these 2 weeks. This is all about Hugo. I think it took Hugo, 2 days to break the agreement? Because the agreement was do not see, don't see Sebastian. Don't see this guy you're cheating on me with. Actually, he didn't even, did he see him? Because I'm sorry. I'm like trying to look at my notes, and I'm trying to remember when he went to see him first, because Hugo, like the scene that's standing out to me right now is Hugo and Andres go to like this party with friends, and they actually end up having this good night together. So they go back to their home, and Hugo says he wants to go brush his teeth before they get it on. They're about to have sex. So Hugo goes to brush his teeth before they have sex, and he gets a text from Sebastian. So he tells Andres he's just going to go take this, call him, see what's going on. On the phone, Sebastian says, oh, well, I'm with this other guy, and this guy's going to sleep with me. And Hugo's like, but we have a deal. His deal with Sebastian is during this time, Sebastian will not sleep with anyone else or go with anyone else. Just he wants to give Andres time. So yeah, that happened after. So yeah, he didn't even take that long. He went to go see Sebastian, and the two of them were laying up in bed talking about the situation. Anyway, he wants to give Andres time because he owes him. They've been together for 10 years, so he owes him this. And Hugo is saying, if you want to do that, remember, I'm hot. I can get any guy I want. And here comes his manipulation game with always making sure he does things that he knows is going to get to Hugo and make Hugo want to go and see him as quickly as possible. Now, what sucks about that phone call, Hugo comes in. Andres already overheard the phone call. Hugo comes in, and Andres wants to make sure Hugo is okay because it's obvious Hugo is upset. And he's comforting his partner of 10 years because the guy his partner cheated on him with has made it clear he's not waiting for their relationship. He's gonna do this with other people and do that. And he has to comfort this guy. And oh my God, the anger in me as I watched that scene of Andres like holding Hugo and not in that moment going, you know what? I need to end this. Oh, it got to me. And what really also got to me is I felt so bad for Andres because he actually starts to look at himself and go, well, maybe it's that I just don't look appealing anymore. And he goes, I guess it's like to a makeup shop or a moisturizer shop. I'm not exactly sure what the shop was. They had makeup everywhere. And like the woman is talking about concealer or cream for like dark circles under your eyes and like all these different things. And he's looking in the mirror at his face, and you can tell he's thinking to himself, maybe I just need, maybe I'm just getting older and he wants someone younger. And if I do this will make me more attractive to him. And it's sad. The whole situation is sad. The whole time I'm shouting at the screen, Andre, baby, like, you can do better. You can do better. It's sad. Oh God. I'm not crying in this review though, because I'm upset. One of the main reasons I'm upset, a lot of the stories in Four Moons are very close to life, very close to how we would expect things to play out in life. So that storyline right there, oh my gosh, I know people who have been cheated on and stayed with the person who cheated on them, and I'm just like, really? Oh God, do I have that kind of love? I don't know. Because it makes me go, if my partner cheated on me, what would I do? And only bad things come to mind. I probably shouldn't record that so that the police can find it. But yeah, Andres and Hugo, from the beginning, you can tell that this is a relationship that's ending. This is a relationship that has so many problems that might not be able to be solved. It does show that Hugo, from the beginning, that Hugo feels like he's being like, when he makes a comment, Andres just goes, no, not that. And like, you know, his opinions aren't appreciated anymore. Maybe he feels like he isn't appreciated anymore. But I feel that just has to do with him, like the end of the relationship was coming. Most people who I don't know, I feel like most people who feel underappreciated in a relationship, it's because they're slowly coming to a point where they feel a different love for the person. It might not be a romantic love anymore. Now it's just I'm with you because we've been together for so long love. And that's where the underappreciated starts to come in. Or maybe it is a situation where Andres he doesn't feel like he's being told enough how amazing he is because his ego needs to be stroked continuously. Anyway, we're gonna fast forward to Andres and Hugo are supposed to go to the theater. So Hugo knows he's supposed to go to the theater, and he basically gets a message from Sebastian that he's going to go to a sex party where naked men will run around. There's a lot of nudity in this movie. And well, not that, actually, compared to some movies I've seen, it's not even that much, but there's a lot of nudity in this movie. And so Hugo, instead of going straight to the theater after he and Andres already had a conversation about why Andres is home, Andres is the love of his life, Andres is always there for him, he goes, Javier. he turns into Javier and goes to the sex party and goes in and sees Sebastian with another guy and tells Sebastian, let's leave. And Sebastian, he's telling Sebastian he needs to leave now because he has somewhere he needs to be. And Sebastian is basically saying no, because if you're not gonna be with me, I'm not leaving here. So Hugo, you think, is gonna do the right thing and finally realizes he needs to leave Sebastian in the past and walk out. But then Sebastian has a little situation where a guy won't get off of him after he said no. And Hugo comes running back to save him and gets bottled. Now, this is the part I love. Not that he gets bottled. But everyone, of course, is leaving because something just went down. And Sebastian sees what just happened to Javier and walks away. And when I say that made me feel good, it was like that's the guy you're trying to leave your 10-year relationship for. Yeah, that guy. That's the guy. But he goes out and so he's leaving the sex party. And now this is a very important part that I'm bringing up, the fact that he's leaving the sex party and he runs into someone. And that will come up later on, because even though these four storylines all take place in the same city, they don't really intersect except for leaving the sex party, and there's still not much interaction there. But anyway, he's leaving the sex party and he calls Andres and basically let Andres know he messed up. And Andres comes running. Now, this was a part where I was like, yo, if you don't learn your lesson yet. But Andres picks him up, he takes him to the hospital, and he gives him a kiss goodbye and leaves. Hugo goes home to an empty house, and how he realizes Andres leaves is amazing. Definitely watch that. I loved. A lot of people might be like, that scene wasn't that powerful, but for me it was really powerful because like that scene was really like Hugo waking up like, oh. He's gone. Like, that was a way that he was like, oh, he's like gone and not coming back. Gone. And that's why I liked the way that scene was done. The way it was done, you know, when you watch movies and like the two people break up, so usually the woman, so if it's a straight storyline, the woman is like throwing clothes out the window and, I can't stand you. When you see stuff like that, every time I see stuff like that, because it even happens in real life where women will just throw things out like, I hate you. It's just so emotional that I'm going, oh, they're going to get back together eventually. And that's usually what happens. Why? Because she is the reason why they show it like that, it shows she's just in her emotions. She can't help it. And the man gets right back in. When a man knows a woman is anyone knows that relationship is over, man or woman. When you know that relationship is over, when the other person takes their time to carefully pack things up and put things up neatly, you are done for. That relationship is done for. And basically that's what happened. The house is still neat. And that was like, yo, he is done. He is finally done. And what I love is Andres is finally learning to love himself, because he was so dependent on Hugo's love for him. Here he is finally loving himself, and it is amazing. Oh my gosh. I think I've said before that Four Moons is a 9.4 for me as far as the whole movie. The story of Full Moon itself, because I understand that the storyline needed Andres to stick it out as long as he did, but he did it in such a B way where he just like put up with so much over and over and over. It made me give this particular storyline a 9 out of 10. So it's still a really high score, because I still think it's at least worth a one-time watch, but it's actually a storyline that I feel like I can live my whole life never seeing again because of how much it angers me. If anyone remembers, there was a movie that came out from Tyler Perry called Diary of the Mad Black Woman, and I remember when it came out, a lot of people talking about how, like, after it came out, women were just angry at men and just hated men. I never felt that when I watched it. I watched Diary of a Mad Black Woman. I was just like, okay, so she moves on. I was just totally uninterested. But like the whole idea of, everyone, when they watched it, they just got angry at men. When women watched it, they got angry at men. That's how I feel watching Full Moon. That storyline in Four Moons. Every time I watch it, I just get angry. I get angry at men for no reason, and I just get angry at men. I was just looking at my husband like, if you ever cheat on me and then come into this house and expect me to comfort you because your little mistress hurt your feelings, you have another thing coming, mister. Like, I actually started shouting at my husband while rewatching Four Moons, like looking at my husband like, do you know what this storyline is about? This is what this storyline is about. And all I have to say is, you ever do this to me? And he's just like, I'm just gonna go play Fortnite for a bit. Excuse me. He just runs away. He just hides. He hides in the gaming room, because he's just like, I don't want to be around her when she's like this. And I was so scared. I'm like, what if I wake up the kids from all my shouting? But I don't care. How dare you? But yeah, I like Full Moon just gives like this anger in me. And it's mainly because it's a cheating storyline, and I don't like cheating storylines. I may or may not have been hurt in the past. We'll never know. But yeah, Four Moons, Cuatro Lunes. It is available on Tubi. It's a free app. You can watch it with ads on Tubi for free. Now, you can also watch it on Amazon. If you have a subscription, it is there on Amazon. Just watch it. You got a subscription. I think about now everybody probably has an Amazon subscription, especially with what's going on in the world. And you can also, if you don't have Amazon, if you want to just watch it without ads, it's $3.99 to rent, $9.99 to purchase. And on Apple, it's $3.99 to rent, $4.99 to purchase. If I'm still getting those numbers right, because that's what I saw when I looked it up. So yeah, it it's out there. Definitely. I say check it out. I'm 100% think that each of these storylines are really good. And because the storylines take place in Mexico, like there's a lot of things I noticed. So like the sex party, in one scene we see the advert for the sex party and the guy is like tattooed up, and some people might just be like, oh, they just chose this guy with a lot of tattoos. But my friend who is Mexican explained to me that in Mexico, for the most part, in a lot of areas, tattoos are associated with being gay. So just a little quick trivia in there for people who might not know this. So that was like a very interesting conversation to have with him. And how it came up was he saw a guy with a lot of tattoos and he was looking at him like, what? So I was asking him, like, why are you looking at that like that? You just hate tattoos? He goes, oh, no, it's just in Mexico, tattoos are like associated with being gay. So because he had just come from Mexico at that point, he was still adjusting to living outside of Mexico, but he was talking about it and he said for him, like seeing this guy just walk around, he has all these tattoos and he's with this girl, it was kind of awkward for him because he was just like, if I saw him in Mexico, I just assume he's gay. But on stateside, this person is just a person with tattoos. Tattoos don't the connotation with tattoos used to be like, oh, you're bad if you have tattoos, or you were military if you have tattoos. Now, everybody and their great grandmother has tattoos nowadays. So it's not as big a deal here. So just explaining that little thing there, just a little trivia there. And another thing that I found out as researching this movie, the storyline being based in Mexico City makes sense, especially for the full moon storyline, because in an area like that, it would make sense for someone to be like openly gay, because it's like in a lot of places you have your pocket areas, like in South Korea, it's Itaewon, well, mostly Homo Hill. But yeah, you have like your pocket areas where people who are of a sexual minority feel safer being more open. And it's the same thing with Mexico City. So that's one of the reasons why it takes place in Mexico City. Ta-da! I actually researched stuff. So yeah, thank you so much for listening. My name is JD Young. I hope you do get a chance to watch this movie. I really did enjoy it. I think Sergio Tovar Velarde did a really good job with all 4 storylines. A part of me wondered if they were different parts of his life, but I know for a fact it is not, because I'll be getting to Waxing Moon. You'll see, not Waxing Moon, sorry, Waning Moon. You'll see how I feel when I get to Waning Moon. You want to talk about anger? You're going to get some anger there. So please remember to follow me on Instagram to watch the series if you can watch the series. Remember to listen and follow on Spotify. You can also check me out on anchor.fm/time4BL. You can actually favorite my podcast there as well. Give me a little ego boost. Thank you guys so much for listening. I hope next time we can make some time for BL. Love y'all. And I hope you have a good morning, good afternoon, good evening, good night, wherever you are, whenever you're listening.